Join me as I try to figure out how we accidentally unleash this powerful entity and see if I can put it back where it belongs. College campuses are usually a hotbed of excitement and experimentation, but one group of friends took things a bit too far. They stumbled upon an old, mysterious book hidden away in the depths of their university's library. I can only imagine what they were thinking when they decided to try out some of the rituals described in it. Their curiosity got the better of them, and they ended up unleashing something they couldn't control. The group of friends, all juniors and seniors, had always been adventurous. They loved exploring the unknown and pushing boundaries. When they found this ancient tome, they thought it was the perfect opportunity to test their limits. Little did they know, the book was bound with powerful magic that wasn't meant to be trifled with. As they began to read from it and perform the rituals, strange things started to happen around them. At first, it was just small stuff, doors creaking open on their own, faint whispers in the hallway. But as they continued to dabble in the forbidden arts, the occurrences grew more frequent and more intense. Equipment would malfunction, strange shadows would flicker on the walls, and an eerie feeling would settle over them. They started to feel like they were being watched all the time. Despite the growing sense of unease, the group didn't stop. They were convinced they could handle whatever they had unleashed. That was until the entity began to make its presence known in more dramatic ways. Windows would shatter, and objects would move on their own. It was then that the friends realized they had made a terrible mistake. The students were in a state of panic. They didn't know what to do or how to reverse what they had done. Their initial excitement had turned to fear as they realized the gravity of their actions. They tried to research ways to contain the entity, but every lead seemed to end in a dead end. The entity seemed to be always one step ahead of them. As time passed, the entity's presence grew stronger. It started to manifest in their dreams, and they would wake up feeling drained and scared. The friends knew they had to do something before it was too late. They gathered all their strength and tried to come up with a plan to confront the entity. This was their chance to take back control and put an end to the chaos. The night of the final confrontation arrived, and the group steeled themselves for what was to come. They had set up a makeshift ritual space, hoping to trap the entity and send it back to where it came from. As they began the ritual, the air seemed to thicken, and the entity made its presence known. The students could feel its power coursing through the room, and their fear was palpable. But they stood their ground, determined to make things right. In a burst of adrenaline, they completed the ritual, and the entity let out a deafening roar as it was forced back into the depths of the unknown. The students collapsed, exhausted but relieved. They had managed to contain the entity, but not without scars, both physical and emotional. They learned a valuable lesson about the dangers of meddling with forces beyond their understanding. So, what did these students learn from their terrifying experience? They learned that some secrets are meant to stay hidden, and that tampering with